I've been using the OnePlus 9R for nearly a month now, and it's time to let you guys know about my final verdict on this one. Welcome to the OnePlus 9R final review. If you are watching my channel for the very first time, a subscription would be massively appreciated and do help me reach 50k subscribers. Alright, let's start it off with this phone's design and build. Design wise, this is a pretty looking device. I've got it in the black color and it's got a matte finish. The build is very sleek, aluminium frame surrounds its body and it's sandwiched inside Gorilla Glass 5. It's a lightweight phone and it is good by all the means. What it lacks at this price point is IP68 certification, and OnePlus doesn't give us the microSD card slot in its phones anyway. So if you are getting this phone with 128 or 256 gigs of storage, remember that's all that you are gonna get on this phone. You can still put 2 nano SIM cards in this one, and yeah, there is no headphone jack either. This phone does have a dedicated mute slider, and that is hands down the best feature on this phone. As far as the display goes, the 6.5 inches fluid AMOLED screen on this phone is powered by a 120Hz refresh rate. With the help of the responsiveness of the Oxygen OS, the display is such a treat to use. Everything on the screen is too snappy, the fluidity of the screen is lovely. No lags, no stutters, nothing wrong with the display. It's a bright screen. I had no issues using this phone outdoor under broad daylight. Since this is an OLED panel, you are not going to have viewing angle problems either. The colors are quite accurate. The punch hole on the top left corner of the screen looks a bit awkward to me, but that's more of a personal preference in my case. I like the punch holes in the middle. The always on display is there. Dark mode on the OLED screens is super useful. Bezels are rightly sized. Bottom chin isn't too big. Overall, the display of this phone is 10 by 10. I haven't noticed any issues in my use of over a month so far. The display has a fingerprint scanner underneath. OnePlus's under display optical readers are quite fast since day one. The phone does have the Face ID unlock too. On the software end, this phone runs on the Oxygen OS 11. As of now, the operating system on this phone is pretty good. Oxygen OS is the closest thing to the stock Android, and most of the users actually love this OS more than the OnePlus devices itself. I am not sure how things will look once the Oxygen OS and the Color OS merger finally takes a shape, but so far it's a good UI and all the necessary features are there on the OnePlus 9R. The hardware on this phone is solid. It brings Snapdragon 870 with its 5G capabilities to the table. Snapdragon 870 is an upgraded version of the Snapdragon 865 Plus chip, and it performs up to the expectations. You will get the flagship performance from this phone regardless of what tasks you are performing. It posts very high figures in all the benchmark applications, and you will love it even more while playing the games. Gamers are actually in for a treat. This is a great device to play all of your games on. With that 4500 mAh battery inside, you can game all day long. I played PUBG Mobile for a while and the game ran extremely smooth for me. I played the game with high HDR with the extreme frame rate, and by the way, the 65 watt charger of this phone is just too damn fast. In short, you are not going to run out of power whether it's the processing or the battery. And yeah, the dual stereo speakers produce a very good sound. I could listen to the footsteps while playing the games like PUBG Mobile on this phone. This now brings us to the cameras. This phone gets a main 48 megapixel Sony IMX586 sensor. It's a pretty old sensor and I am a bit disappointed because this can be a deal breaker here. This phone deserved a newer and better camera sensor. Although it has some flagship features like this phone can record 4K at 60 frames per second videos from its rear camera. Its videos are optically stabilized and that can be seen in all of the videos recorded on this phone. The photos come out fine. Ultra wide camera also produces fine result, but it could be better. You know, I have already done a full camera review of this phone and you can watch that to understand this phone's camera in a bit of depth. With this, we reach the conclusion. OnePlus 9R was supposed to be a flagship killer, but with a few compromises, especially in the camera department, I don't believe that this device is a flagship killer. It also lacks the microSD card slot, doesn't have an IP rating for water and dust resistance, and headphone jack is a thing of past now. So with these few missing features or compromises, this phone is definitely not a flagship killer. The value for money aspect of this device is another debate. For just a few more bucks, you can get the Samsung S20 Fan Edition 5G, and that phone gives you everything flagship. So I think that the OnePlus 9R purchase decision isn't gonna be easy unless you are a true OnePlus fan. Let me know what do you guys think about this phone and drop your feedback about this video in the comments down below. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. With that being said, I will sign off and see you all in the next one.